Welcome to the previously named and now currently unnamed Cars Tour Show here on Big Motor Small Blade. I'm Seth Dolby, joined by Front Stretch's lead Cars Tour reporter, Chase Folsom, or as we know him, Chuck. Ain't that right, Chuck?
I guess.
He guesses. His name is Chuck, folks. And we just, and by just, I mean 4 days ago, got back from Orange County Speedway.
Oh, man. A little
Uh,
bit of a delay there.
yeah.
By the way, Seth, you could not have said that like any more of a robot than you did.
Well, there we go.
I don't know if the automated response was the goal there.
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
we had a little bit of a hiccup this week, and by hiccup I mean my
Chunk
little
up.
brother being chunk up. My little brother being in the ER. So
He is okay now.
he is okay now. Um Chunk is back to normal, back to his regular, well, new regular self.
New, regular,
Um,
obnoxious self.
yes, that is correct. So we now have to rewind to what seems like an eternity ago when we were at Orange County.
Yes. And it was my first time at Orange County, so I did not see it when there were literal canyons carved into the racetrack.
You
But
missed out. It was a time to be alive.
yeah, it was. I don't know what I was doing last year instead of Orange County. Oh, wait, I do remember I was at a hockey game. Speaking of, go Canes, beat the Devils 4-1 in the series and move on to inevitably get beat in the second round by the Washington Capitals, but hopefully not. Anyway, yes,
This
it
is when
was.
Seth starts his hockey podcast.
I would like to. I don't watch nearly enough. Never mind. Anyway, uh, but yes, it was my first time at Orange County, and I quite enjoyed it.
What'd you think of, like, I know you walked on the racetrack, but what'd you think of the racing there and like how the track races?
I thought it was good. It's harder to pass than uh, the Panthers offense in 2023. It seemed.
Well, I mean,
I say that. I guess Jared Fryar didn't start on poles, so he made a pass. Well, Landon Lewis made some passes. It's
anybody could
doable.
have made some passes.
Yeah, that's true. It is doable. Um, saw a lot of guys use the bumper, which was fun. I don't know. I mean, it's a good track.
I think it,
And
well,
it's
for
not that's not the
starters,
greatest analysis, but
I think for starters, qualifying, especially now, is important everywhere.
yeah,
It it has just as much to do with how close these guys are on speed as it is the track actually making it, excuse me, hard to pass. Like,
mm,
these guys are separated by such little amount of time that it's going to be hard to pass anywhere. And I don't think that it should be easy to pass by any means. I think that's a false narrative that is put into some people's head, and this goes for NASCAR too.
yeah,
The idea that it should be easy to pass, so you should just be able to pass, is wrong, because that's not racing, that's passing. If you want to see passing, we can go out to I-40.
all right,
Shout out
Tony.
Tony Stewart. Um, so it should be hard to pass, but having the ability to pass, and when I say that, I mean the ability to get close to a guy. When you can get it within a guy's air bubble, because those do even exist at short tracks. When you can get within that bubble and get to a guy's back bumper, that means you have the ability to pass, and it's just a matter of how good your car is and how rude you want to be at that point in time. So I think Orange County presents a lot of opportunity because you can run multiple grooves, especially in 1 and 2. You can, like, the bottom is definitely the best.
Yeah,
We saw guys run all the way to the wall and then just like launch down the back straightaway. Because if you sit in turn 1, you can see they, like, it's like Dover almost. They go down and up
yeah,
out of turn 2. So that creates runs, and then in the 3, the primary groove is the top, so a guy can run the bottom and try and slide him. So I
Maybe
think
I
it's
have a
really racy is probably the proper term.
yeah, maybe I have a slightly incorrect view of it because I spent a lot of time in turn 3 and 4. Um, so maybe I didn't get as much of the full picture. I did go to
Yeah.
turn 1 and 2 at it for a little bit, but I didn't maybe spend enough time over there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be hard to pass anywhere with these guys. It just is what it is. But
I
when you
just
put the right guy in the right equipment, it can
I
be
feel
done.
like because we went back to what were the tires, F45s or whatever
They're technically a new tire.
they are.
It's a it's a it's an F45 star. It's a modified version. It's a harder version of the
Okay,
F45. The
that's what I
ST2 was
thought.
an entirely different compound.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so they are harder tires. That's what I thought. It's kind of obvious and I
Yeah.
kind of don't like it as much. I think that's maybe kind of what I'm maybe the issue I'm having is because have we run that every race this year?
Yep.
Okay. Um, Last year when they switched back, they were running F45s, the regular ones, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So there's a
But
different.
then I don't think they ran them at Wilkesboro at
No, they
all
ran SD2s at Wilkesboro.
because they couldn't run
Yeah, they
45s at
you can't
Wilkesboro.
run them. Um, I don't know. I feel like late model racing that I learned to get into, and I'm not saying the race Saturday was bad or the races we've had this year are bad, but it's kind of there's a reason other than the tire codes. There's a reason we went back to running F45s at the end of last year because SD2s everyone just ran hard the whole race and it runs into the same problem that we've had in Cup and actually a lot of racing series now. A lot of racing series of tires that are too damn hard, and I feel like it's kind of losing part of the art of late model stock racing. Maybe I'm
I wouldn't
romanticizing it too
disagree
much.
with. I guess I wouldn't disagree with that. So I feel like there's two sides to this, right? On one hand, if you're Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, Justin Marks, the Cars Tour, and you want to attract fans, put asses in seats, well, you need an exciting show, especially if you're going to, although you could argue having a hard tire compound that doesn't wear, I guess probably having cautions plays in favor of having a harder tire because it bunches them back up.
Yeah,
It gives them which that's a whole nother conversation we can have. But you want, if you're going to attract people to the racetrack, you want them to see the drivers perform at their best the entire time. You want to see them push the car to the limit. At the same time, there is the factor, like you're saying, of it is an art to save your equipment. Now, I don't necessarily know if it works with the Cars Tour right now because we have competition cautions. So you save your equipment all race, you just fly to the front at the end because if you stay up front all day, you're probably going to burn your shit up. So I honestly think the racing is better with the softer tires, but at the same time, if you want excitement, you kind of need them going 100% the whole time because you could argue that tire saving isn't exciting to the casual fan that you're trying to get to tune into flow or trying to get to the racetrack for the first time and convince them to come back a second time. And it's an interesting topic, and we can talk about Ryan Newman now, I guess, because Newman did run, qualified. I can't remember where he qualified, but he wound up 14th at the end of the night, which solid run for a guy that's really never run a late model stock before.
yeah.
I asked him, if you were explaining to somebody that doesn't know, what is the difference between his modified racing that he normally does with Wheeling and Smart and racing in the car store? And he was like, well, there's no strategy. There is no saving. There is no coming down to get tires. Because in Smart, I don't know if Wheeling's this way, but I know with the Smart Tour, I don't know if it's an extra set or an extra tire. I I don't watch enough Smart Tour races, but I know I've been to a couple to know that they can come in and get like at least like a right rear or something, and maybe it might be an entire set. So they have that option, and they have competition cautions too. So it's not like they're just banking on a yellow. They have to strategize when they're going to put that set on, and those tires wear, so they have to save them. And he was like, "There's none of that. It's just go." So I don't know if they're happy with the product, it's going to stay that way. And I don't think we have a problem like NASCAR does because the product's not bad. The
Yeah.
race on Saturday was good. It wasn't thrilling. You're not going to have a barn burner every time you go to the racetrack. But
Yeah.
if you have good races, I don't think there's necessarily, as much as it could be better, a reason to fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know.
I
It
just
could.
I
That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I can think of that would be an argument for this is if you want guys to run hard the entire race and you're trying to attract people to your series, there are a plethora of racing series right now where guys run hard the entire time and it's super tough to pass for that reason, on top of it being a competitive field. Um, I don't think you necessarily need that because if you're trying to attract them to your series and they're not currently a fan, show them something different. I guess
Yeah.
that would be my argument. I'm obviously not in control and I'm not making the big money and the big decisions over there. So my
Yeah.
opinion
If
is
we have time, we
what it
can
is.
circle back to debating competition cautions,
Competition
but
cautions.
we should probably
Yeah, let's
um
move on to what actually happened in the race, which was Jared Fryar winning for the first time since 2020.
2023.
23.
Seth, you were actually at the race that he last won.
I was. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was. Because I keep forgetting he won that race because he didn't cross
Because
the
he didn't
line
cross the
first.
line first. Oh my god, the giant fly is back. Hold on.
Oh gosh,
Oh, I missed.
oh dang it, Chuck.
Gummit.
Dang it. I
Dude, that
missed that
thing's
fly.
huge. It's like the size of a dime.
That's big fly.
That's a big old fly.
That's a big one. I'm sure this is just riveting content.
Anyway, Jared Fryar, yes. He
Yeah.
won because Lane Riggs disqualified at Caraway in 2023. He last crossed the line first at Caraway in the North-South Shootout to end 2022. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I
like
don't know
one of
why
the
I
first
was
times
I don't know why I was thinking 2020. I don't know.
because he won the championship in 2020.
That's what I was. I knew 2020 was in there somewhere. I knew it. All right, I'm not that dumb, guys. I'm not
Sorry, I
that
just
dumb.
got a weird text. You want me to discuss that?
All right, we don't need to
Um,
discuss that then.
no.
Anyway, Jared
Um,
Fryar.
Jared Fryar. So it's impressive, honestly, because he is part time still. Hasn't been full time since 2021. So you would think, you know, guy shows up on a part time basis, it's probably going to be hard for him to perform at the level that these guys every week do. But he made a pretty valid argument for it when we talked to him afterwards because he said, we show up to the racetrack fresh with our best stuff every time we show up. And I'm like, yeah, that makes that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You got your best car and you've been working on it a while and you're not wore out. So it's cool to see Jared win again. He's good people's. It was really the first time I've actually had a conversation with him. Super nice guy. So if you guys ever want to approach Jared Fryar, talk to Jared Fryar. He's good folk. So go talk to him. He kicked their ass too.
Oh
Like he took the lead. I think it was lap 62. I tweeted about it. 62 or 64. Battled with Lane Riggs for a couple laps, and then he was gone. Like untouchable.
yeah.
I think they had a couple wrecks after that, and then a comp yellow maybe. Can't remember. It's been a
I
couple of
think.
days. Like
Yeah, pretty sure.
and like every restart, he was just checked out. So
Yeah.
but he's not coming back to another race till Langley. So I guess the field can rest easy that Jared Fryar is not about to whoop him for the next month.
Well, speaking of the field, the regulars and the I would call them the big three right now, all had a terrible race. Um,
Yeah.
and Connor and Connor Hall ended up 18th. Minnie Tyrell crashed, and Millington was what, like 16th?
16th or 17th.
Yeah,
Minnie was 24th. I just know that off the top of my head. But
yeah,
so Connor didn't sound all that optimistic pre-race that he was going to be fast. He mentioned that he's not a fan of Orange County.
mm,
It's also only his second time there, which isn't really an excuse, but both times he's been there, whether it be with Junior Motorsports now or Nelson last year, he was slow. So I understand why he doesn't like the place. I don't know what. They just kind of missed it. Like he got spun early and then he was just stuck back there. The
yeah,
only spots he really gained the rest of the night were wrecks. And with that, Millington and Minnie had golden opportunities to make up ground in the points, and Ryan had a nothing burger of a night. I don't really think we even saw anything of him the whole night.
yeah.
And
I paid attention to him just because I was like, well, here you go. This is your opportunity, and never they just couldn't make anything out of it. So
no.
one of
And
those days.
Minnie went from qualified 20th, which I think it rained before qualifying, and I think that threw a lot of people for a loop.
Yeah,
So he qualified 20th and then worked his way up to 11th and then was just kind of stuck there. And then restart happens late in the race. And I never really saw what happened. I just saw him smack the wall in front of me. Flo didn't get a replay of it. So, um, don't really know what happened there other than he was junked. So, big missed opportunity for them.
yeah,
Other guys, though, capitalized. Huffman and Ronnie Bassett Jr., they both had solid nights. Huffman qualified pretty deep in the field, made it up to seventh. And Ronnie, tell you what, dude, I want to talk about Ronnie for a minute.
all right,
He has quietly been very, very good this year.
yeah,
If it hadn't been for, I believe it was McKee missed a shift in front of him, he was fifth at Cordial when McKee missed a shift. Hadn't been for that, he would have like finished, I think, sixth or better in every race this year. They've quietly had a really, really good year. I think they're gonna win soon. Like I could see them winning Caraway. Or not Caraway, Ace. I could
are
see
you?
him winning Caraway too.
Yeah, we could see it.
Am I
Yeah,
picking him as my pick to win?
yes. Are you?
Well, we'll decide that at the end of the show. My pick this week did
Stay
really bad.
tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
My pick this week did really, really bad. So I don't know if we're keeping track of that or not. But
Yeah, I don't even remember who I picked. So
well, I picked Bobby.
did I pick any? Have I picked anybody? Am I just making you pick, and then I'm just sitting there going, "Damn, that was a bad pick, Chuck."
No, I think we picked for the first time last week. And
Okay, yeah, I don't remember at all. And we're back. Um, and we don't remember what the fuck we were talking about before. But
Seth F bomb.
oh yeah, Seth F bomb. Whoopsie. Um, oh well, it's my channel. I can say whatever I want.
What we were gonna talk about was they they wrecked pretty badly. Badly? I don't know.
Badly is a word.
Journalism.
Badly is a word.
Journalism. In turn one, late in the race Saturday.
We've
And
gotten all discombobulated here, guys. We're sorry.
one of the main cars involved was Lanie Buice. Holy season from hell, and it ain't her fault, man.
Not a single bit of it has been her fault at all.
She's been running good. We could throw the interview in here. That's an interview we should throw in here.
I mean, we were racing really hard for sure. I feel like I gave the 01 plenty of room, both sides. I never really crowded them or anything. Obviously, like I had I was in front of him, so I had the preferred lane there, and I did get into one maybe a little bit shallow. I haven't watched the replay. Apparently the replay, you can't see anything. So unfortunately, not really sure exactly what happened. I think the 01 just ran me over again. So every week it just seems like it's a pattern at this point, and I'm really disappointed about it. My parents worked really hard to make this possible for me, and same with my sponsor, Folsom Fin Supply. So super thankful for their hard work, and hopefully we can get through this and keep getting going forward, because this is getting really, really tough. At this point, I know I deserve to be finishing better, and I know we've got what it takes to run up front. So we just got to clean it up and understand that these guys need to respect me. So whatever we got to do to find that respect.
Yeah. She's been running good every week, like top 10 every week. I mean, she's in Lee Pulliam cars, so she's got good equipment.
Yeah.
And she has gotten run over every single week. Now, she got spun at New River when she was running pretty good and recovered well. She got absolutely run the hell over at Wake County. Like, launched off her left rear, the guy that I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
She got spun by Dale, of all people, running top 10 at Cordele. And now we're at Orange County. Dale. And she was running, dude, I don't know. 10th, 12th.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think. And Camden Gully goes to pass her into one. And I watched it happen. Just drove all up on her left rear for no reason at all.
It looked a lot like the Wake County incident.
Junked the hell out of both of them.
Yeah.
And Carson Lofted piles in. Doug Barnes piles in. Parker Eatman piled in. Landon Lewis with the wreck avoidance of the year. He did get a little piece of it, but it could have been way worse.
Yeah.
Poor Lanie, dude. She talks about respect in the interview. I don't know if we've played it yet or not. Doesn't matter, because there is absolutely none for her in the series right now, and I think that should change. I don't know if she's just got to start wrecking people, which sucks. But yeah, it sucks to see her get absolutely run the hell over for no reason every week.
Yeah, and see, the only thing is, it's like, I'm not even sure if it's a respect thing as well. Somewhat of it is, but like the Wake County incident and this, it's just like she just unfortunately was around the least, the guy paying the least amount of attention on the racetrack. Like, I think it should be by the time you get in a late model stock car, I feel like we've had similar conversations about stuff like this, but I feel like you should have a general awareness of where your fucking right front is. Sorry, another Seth F-bomb, but geez, that's just, you should know where your car is on the racetrack. I feel
they figured it out on top of hers.
I mean, yeah, but by that point it's $1 late, a day short or whatever, but that's
okay. Cool, Butcher.
Yeah, I'm frustrated, damn it.
Ducks on the water, or whatever that saying is. That's the funniest thing, dude. No, that you're right. Like we shouldn't be run. These are bad incidents. Like, go find they didn't float it and get the beginning of it, but by the time they get to it, they're like on corner entry, and both cars are turned around backwards, about to rear end back into the wall because the tire to tire just looped them both. I think it was honestly like, actually, I don't even know. I can't even speak on it because I didn't see the original start of it. I just remember looking down and the 01 just completely.
Well, it's like, I don't know for this one as much. I think it was basically the same thing, but the Wake County incident specifically, the first like 2 times I watched the replay, in my head, I kept watching what she did because I was like, no way he messed it up that badly, right? I was like, she had to have crowded him. And every time I watched it, I'm like, no, she didn't. She really didn't. So, and that's not me trying to be mean to Lanie. I was just like, it looks so ridiculous the way it is. My brain was just like, nah, that can't be the way it actually
can't be what happened, right?
No, it can't
Surely
be.
that didn't happen, right?
Yeah. I was like,
it 100% did.
Yeah. And for it to happen again 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, it's just unacceptable.
I
Like
don't know what we're
it's
doing, man.
yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, the entire point really was Lanie is doing a very good job. And she just needs everyone else to stop hitting her. Like for the love of God. Lay off her.
Please
She's doing
stop
good.
running over her race car.
Yeah.
Okay. One other debate. We do have time for it. So
We
earlier
think we
this
lost
week,
track of time, so we think, but we're just gonna go with it anyway.
earlier this week, or actually that might have been late last week.
It was definitely late last week.
Time is, however,
A human construct. It's not real.
yeah. NASCAR announced that there was going to be a promoter's caution for the North Wilkesboro All-Star Race, and I took issue with this. To which Seth responded, "Well, it's no different than competition cautions in the Cars Tour."
And while I
So,
know
Seth,
that's yes,
let's talk about it.
we're gonna talk
Go
about it.
ahead.
While
Go
I
ahead.
understand that technically that statement is hyperbolic, I still stand by it because I think, especially now with the harder tires or whatever other things we're trying to do in the Cars Tour formula right now is baked to create that type of racing, and adding a competition caution is another reason to do, or another tool to keep the racing tight and exciting. And it feels marginally disingenuous to me. Now, granted, I'm jaded from watching NASCAR for the past however many years of my life, but I would love a little bit of purity in my racing. This is just this is an argument from I don't like it. Admittedly, that's what this is. If we had like ridiculous tire wear and we needed to change tires halfway through the race, wouldn't bother me at all. I don't expect these guys to have the budget for a live pit crew. Like when we go to the South Carolina 400 and everyone has to come in at lap 100 to change tires, doesn't bother me at all. Like I just, when the races are basically sprint races like this, and we need to bake in 2 to 3 extra cautions, I don't know. It seems excessive.
So, even if the tire wear is the way it is now, because I think new tires would still make a difference.
Yeah.
If they had an extra set or an extra 2 tires, even like if it was a 6-tire race every week, would you be okay with it then?
Yes, but not the every 40 laps thing. So if it was like a halfway break.
Well,
yes.
so the reason I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because
okay, I can see the reason why
if you made it a halfway break,
everyone would do the same thing.
Everybody's going to do it the same.
Okay, so I can see that. At that point, I would maybe make it 50 laps.
So with a couple things with the Smart Tour, like I said, I don't know how their cautions work, but I know at different points in the race, anybody can come get tires. What I do like is how ASA does it, and obviously that's a little bit different. Different tire, different car, completely longer races.
Yeah.
Most of their races are like 200 to 300 laps, but they just run actual stages like NASCAR does.
Yeah.
But they have these things that they call controlled yellows. And it's not just the stages. Like every now, like if they have like a big wreck, most of the time, unless it's like a single car spin, it'll be a controlled yellow. And that means they have basically 3 laps. I think it's 3 laps to come in, make whatever adjustments they want, and put tires on. Now, obviously, they have multiple sets of tires because it's a longer race. For cars, that could just be 1 extra set.
Yeah.
The problem you're going to run into is cost.
Yeah, that's now even then though, like we could run. I mean, guys could come in and make adjustments, I don't see how that
The
would be a
problem
bad
right
thing.
now, the problem right now is that there's no point in coming in to make adjustments because track position is so hard to get.
Which is why the tires should
no
be
what.
softer.
I just think.
Which I guess, to be fair, you're not going to know what adjustments you need if you're riding in the back. So maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but
I just think it's always kind of been a thing in short track racing because if you go to a short track on Saturday night and you watch them just, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's different going to a short track and watching them just go for 125 laps and it be a dud. And it is going to a cup race and watching them just go for 400 miles. Because those guys are the best of the best. Like, that is the highest level of the sport, allegedly. I just feel like it's different. I don't know. I can't really even explain why. I mean, I think there should be changes made to it. I wish we could have, like, a 6-tire race.
I think the one part of the problem, though, is we have enough opportunity for carnage in a Cars Tour race. And I mean, we all watched Cordeal. They tore up a lot of stuff. And adding in additional opportunities that, for the sake of competition, add nothing. Let me rephrase that. They add nothing for. They take away an opportunity for the race leader who built up a cushion, did all this, that, and the other, especially if you've tried to get rid of tire wear as much as possible. That's what the leader's done. He's earned that spot. Now you've taken that away from him to make him line up 4 feet in front of the guy in third.
Let's run Delaware double file restarts. Nobody from the asphalt crowd likes that answer.
We could just run single file restarts. Okay.
Where's the fun in that?
It's not. It's admittedly not fun.
You know what's funny though is everybody from the asphalt crowd like absolutely despises what I just suggested. For some reason, there's, at least as far as I know, there's just this.
Oh wait, no. Okay, I kind of forgotten I had sort of
double
forgotten
file,
what
except
that
the
meant.
leader has the front row to himself.
I'm cool with that.
But for some reason, the asphalt crowd just hates it, even though it's commonplace in dirt. I don't get that. I think it's a good thing.
Never mind. I was going to say something.
I could say a lot of things, but I will show my true colors as a dirt fan, and I don't need to out myself like that.
Well, it's just like it's kind of my argument for and against anything I've argued on this episode up until this moment is we do a lot of things in, I'm just going to say, pavement stock car racing in general that are for entertainment. And I understand to a point it is an entertainment product, but the entertainment stems from the competition aspect. And the more you take away from the competition aspect, the less entertaining it is ultimately. It might be.
I think the solution would be make the tires softer and give them two more tires.
Yeah, that is the solution. But then again, the teams now suddenly have to buy 150% as many tires as they were before. Which I understand that angle.
Which my solution to that is, can we stop running a full test day on Friday? That'll save them some tires.
Yeah, that seems excessive.
And we should have a testing ban. But that is we don't have time for that.
Not 150% more tires, 150% more tires on race day. Let me clarify that. Doesn't change the amount of practice tires, but yeah. That is an area we could go to more of a NASCAR style practice session.
Well, they practice in the morning. They have 2 sessions in the morning of race day.
Give them 20 minutes.
No, you give them more than that because it takes time to dial your car in and figure out what's right and what's not.
Well, see, that'd be the other thing. That'd be the other thing. If guys see that I fixed the problem. You give them like 20 minutes of practice. Okay, so not enough time to dial your setup in. Guys are going to qualify that bad that actually have good cars.
You're suggesting everything you hate about NASCAR.
No, hang on. But they're going to we already have to deal. There's already going to be cautions during the race, whether they're fake or real cautions. Then they can come in and make adjustments on the car during the race. And then we'll get some movement.
I still think you give them a whole hour on race day. And we should just scrap Friday altogether.
That I'm good with.
Unless like Hickory's going to have to be a 2-day show.
That's
I guarantee
different.
you we're going to run an LCQ on Friday night because there is not enough room. Dale was talking about wanting to have 120 cars between the two series at Hickory. There's not enough room for 60 cars, maybe 70 in the pits at Hickory. So Friday night, I guarantee you they're going to run, if they get the cars they think they will, they're going to run LCQs. They're going to qualify on Friday, and they're going to run LCQs. Yeah. And Saturday is just going to be show up and race, which is fine. Yeah. I wish they'd make that race longer. I wish they'd make it 200 laps.
Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know. Again, I just show up and watch.
The money's there to be won, so and it's not like the money's there to be made up for travel like it was Cordele. They could pay for the other extra set of tires.
Yeah.
To run a 6-tire race or even an 8-tire race at Hickory.
That is one where
and run 200 and run 200 laps because that's what they used to do for the old North State Nationals, and that race was so fun. Even though Butterbean screwed himself, and so did many others, Honeycutt too, because they couldn't calculate fuel. It was still really fun.
Yeah,
we just rented at Tri-County and ran to the freaking curfew. But okay, we've rambled enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Before we talk about Ace briefly, I have a bone to pick with Connor Hall.
Oh, boy.
Connor, if you're still watching this, which I hope you are, you probably aren't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I wouldn't either. It's okay.
In the most loving way possible, Connor Hall is a pain in my ass.
No way. The Connor Hall?
By the way, Seth, were you an apple juice or an orange juice kid?
I'm pretty sure I was an apple juice kid. No.
Okay, well.
It was both, but I just know I got traumatized one time by orange juice with pulp, and I think I stayed away from it for a while.
So that was our question of the week this week for Front Stretch. Go check it out on Front Stretch Grassroots. Shameless plug. Connor, so I said, were you an apple juice? I said apple juice or orange juice. He goes, sweet tea and water. I said, Connor, that wasn't the question. And he goes, well, that was my answer. I said, that's not what I asked. He's like, why do I have to choose? I said, because that's the question this week. Which one did you like as a kid? And he goes, oh, orange juice. Apple juice sucks. He goes, orange juice, no pulp. Well, as I get older, more pulp. And he just keeps rambling. And it's a great answer. And then I realized the mic's not on. So he was like, watch, now I'm going to mess with him. So I asked the question again. Mike's working this time. He goes, orange juice. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I like it more. And then I cut. And I made him do it again. So then, Sunday, doing the Front Stretch watch party at Talladega, he pops in on Facebook, calls me Chuck.
Because that's your name.
It's not my name.
Allegedly.
So Connor,
Chase isn't a real name.
Connor, if you'd spend more time driving your race car and less time picking on me, you might not have finished 18 at Orange County.
Jesus. I hope he did click off. All right.
Ace Speedway.
I've never been. I don't even know what it looks like.
Neither have I.
Oh, okay. That helps.
Yeah.
What the hell are we going to talk about for 14 seconds?
We're not. We're just going to pick.
All right.
Ronnie Bassett Jr. Ryan Millington.
Ronnie Bassett Jr.
Okay.
I don't know. Who won there last year?
Brent and Carson.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't help us then.
No.
Not at all. All right. So anyway.
Not one single bit.
we've made our picks, and by the time we record, which I would love for it to be Sunday, Chuck, but it'll probably be Wednesday again because that's how it always works. But anyway, whenever that happens,
we do our job eventually.
We get there. We'll get to it at some point. We're both busy. But anyway,
all 12 of you watching, thanks for watching.
Yeah. So yes, like Chuck said, thank you for watching. This has been the previously named and now unnamed Car Store Show here on Big Motor Small Blade. I've been Seth. He's been Chuck. CHUCK, Chuck. And you've been the viewer. And we'll see you next time. Bye, Gary.
Bye, Gary.